Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Beyond 280. This is Scott Allison. I'm your host today for our Wednesday show, where we get to go beyond 280 characters of the Twitter users that you love to follow, love to hate to love. I don't know, whatever. The idea behind this show, if you don't know, if you've not watched any of my previous shows or have not watched any of my posts or anything like that, this show is really about showing people that there are human beings behind the avatars. Well, in most cases. But I definitely want to show the world that these are human beings that I want to instill a little empathy before people go off on each other on social media, especially recently with all the things that have been going on in the media with trials and shootings and political discourse just going all over the map. It's been more than ever. There's been a lot more vitriol, a lot more division on social media, specifically Twitter, which is why I'm focusing on one social media platform. There's just too much out there. So for those of you who are interested, you'll notice I have a cool little badge over here, Creators Guild, and it calls me an ambassador, whatever that means. Apparently it's something special. I don't know. But the Creators Guild, if you don't know anything about it, here's some more information at creatorsguild.app. It's a wonderful place, a great place, a fantastic place to get to know other creators from around the world. We get together, we talk about gear, we talk about stuff, we talk about creating content, we share each other's content, hold each other accountable. It's a really great community for creators. You'll also find the Creator Toolkit there. It's a little lesson plan basically for new creators or even creators that haven't really gotten out there in a while, or they have and they need to brush up on some stuff. You'll also find the 7-day challenge there, which I just completed the other day, which is it's like a live streaming every day sort of thing, but really, a more manageable bite. 7 days worth of creating content. And all of this was made possible by our guest today, who doesn't really need much of an introduction. You probably know him as the guy with the white glasses. He looks a little bit like Santa Claus these days. Not the fat Santa Claus, like the early Tim Allen Santa Claus from the Santa Claus movie. Before he got all fat, he kept growing that beard. That Santa Claus. So if without further ado, I'd like to bring on Mr. David Foster, the Impartial Geek. All
Hello.
Right, he's hiding
What's
it.
happening? I didn't want to get any germs here.
Oh well, I've got lots of germs. Wait, I've got both my shots, dude. I got both my shots. I got the injection twice.
Gone.
All right. How's it going?
Good. It's going real good.
Yeah,
I just got done eating some Chinese food, talking to Jennifer, which is my girlfriend, for those of you that might not know, and all is good in the world.
Yay. So I invited several more people to come view the stream that I normally do. So there's going to be some people that are watching this that have no clue who you are, believe it or not. Give us a 10,000 foot view. Who is David Foster and not the music producer?
So I actually used to have a website URL, whoisdavidfoster.com, but I don't have that anymore. So I'm David Foster. I gave myself the nickname Impartial Geek many, 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 many years ago because I thought I was impartial. I'm not, but I only got that because Impatient Geek was not available because that's more what I'm like very impatient when it comes to tech and stuff and like wanting things. I got to have the latest, greatest. But I have been live streaming for... creating online content since like 2001 or so, like videos and stuff. I was the CEO of a tech startup from like 2010 till 2013 or 14, somewhere in there. And then I went and started a company called Live Streaming Pros, and I am one of the co-founders of that company. And then I just moved into what I'm at now, which is the Creator Toolkit, and working on helping content creators create content through my workshop and the guild, which Scott is an ambassador of. And so, yeah, that's kind of the 10,000 foot view, I guess.
That's awesome. So just so everybody knows, David, what I'm doing right now, I'm doing all of this right now. David pushed me over the edge. I was like sitting on the fence. And with David's help and with really the support of the entire guild, it got me over the hump, and now I'm doing it. I'm doing it 3 days a week, sometimes more. Sometimes I'm doing little impromptu streams, and it's been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun.
The guild is great at that, at pushing.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and they're good at good trolling.
Yep.
They're not so good at the bad trolling. I don't know what's up with
No.
that. I don't know what's up with that.
Except for Andy, that Andy guy.
That Andy guy. Yeah, he's pretty good at that, I think.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right to it. So again, the idea on my Wednesday show is to interview Twitter users. Now, I will say, David, you're not much of a Twitter guy, but you have 15,000 followers. How did that happen?
Well, so back when I was the CEO of the tech company, I was very active. So I was active on social media, and I was known as a social media guru kind of person. I mean, when they still use that word loosely, or actually, I guess back then it kind of meant something, but now it's just like everybody's a guru, right? So I built it during then. That's how when I built my Facebook page. So a lot of the stuff that I have currently is remnants of that time back in my life when I was, because I was like, packing webinars with 900, 1,000 people, live viewers and stuff when I was just teaching basic social media, like literally how to create your profiles and stuff like that. I actually wrote a book called Building Your Social Media Web. And it was just this whole talk about how your website is your core, and then you use social media all around it to send people to your core, which now it's kind of different. The social media has basically become the core for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so you kind of choose which one is going to be your core, and you use the others to push to that. So a little bit different world now, but same kind of concepts.
Sure. Yeah. So, so I was wrong about the number of you have almost 18,000 followers. So
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was kind of a big deal back then, but
kind of a big deal.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
so that wasn't the first question, by the way. The first question. So I've been watching your streams for a while, and I kind of gotten to know your audience pretty well, and I know this is on the forefront of everybody's mind. So I wanted to get this one right out of the way. So, do you pee in the shower?
I do, and the bathtub,
And the bathtub.
and pools, hot tubs, deserts, hot springs.
Yeah.
No, I don't. If there's other people in the hot springs, no, I'm just kidding about that. It depends. If it was my pool, I would pee in it, but I don't pee in other people's pools. I do indeed pee in the shower, and then just before, if it's like when you get in, guys understand that when your testes get warm, you pee, or your hand. It's just like, I don't know what it is about warmth and some of these areas. It's just like instantly makes you have to pee. And it's like, there's sometimes where it's like, I don't want to get out of the shower, drip water, walk over, potentially slip and fall, dry myself off to go pee and then get back in here. I'm just going to unload.
Yeah.
So sometimes even in the bath, I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm getting ready to get out. I'm just going to pee and then I'll get out.
Yeah,
So.
no, I'm with you too. It's usually for me, it's that first splash, and that's it. I'm done. It's going to happen, and nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can get out and possibly slip and fall and kill myself. So I might as well just do it right there.
It's too inconvenient
And too dangerous.
But
dangerous.
I never was a bedwetter. Like, I didn't wet the bed when I was a kid. I wasn't one of those kids. No offense if you were. You're still accepted. It's fine. But yeah, I used to be the kid that would pee in the pool too, a public pool. I couldn't. I just, because it's like you got to get out. But since I became more, I care more about other people now than I did, because I didn't understand back then that urine was actually very riddled with waste.
I don't think any of us did. We used to
Yeah.
spray that stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I was perfectly fine peeing on my brothers. It's like, it's not toxic.
Oh man, that is so much fun. Actually, if you've ever been stung by a jellyfish, urine actually takes the pain away. Apparently,
That's what I heard. I
Yeah.
heard. You ever see the Heartbreak Kid with
No, I don't
Ben
think
Stiller?
No, I did not see that one.
Oh, then you need to watch that movie.
Okay,
Do yourself
so
a favor.
so that one is in the books. I am so happy we
Okay.
got that one out of the way because it was weighing on everybody's mind. I know Sai specifically was really interested in that question. So,
I think she already knew the answer, but
so let's get on to the next question now. So again, I tried to kind of keep everything Twitter focused. So I think you've already answered this question, but about why you initially joined. Why are you still on? Are you still engaging on Twitter or Or you?
I don't engage as much as I read, so it's kind of like my news aggregate. It's where I go to, like, if I want to have very civil, nice, friendly conversations, I go to Twitter. Just kidding. It's like,
Yeah.
That's where you go. Yeah, it's yeah. But no, I it's like a news aggregate for me. So I go and I see, things that, like, some people I do actually follow, Maddie Hapoya, Cody Warner, like other creators in the community, that I like to see kind of what they're doing, and they're very active on Twitter, but especially news aggregate. So I can just go and I can see top stories and stuff and then click in and read it. But I never like any of those posts. I never repost news really, unless it's something really that hits home for me. I'm not a retweeter. I'm not even a commenter or a hearter, but like every once in a while I'll get, like, somebody will post something in the creator community and I'll like that or even comment and repost that or retweet that. So
you're more of a lurker.
yeah, I'm a lurker on Twitter.
Yeah,
because I'm not really a fan. Like, now, to be fair, I just found this audio feature the other day, and I did an audio and I did a test, and I was going for, like, I don't know, 4 minutes, and it still wasn't ending. And I'm like, I think you could just do a whole podcast on that audio feature and say whatever you needed to say. I thought that was pretty cool, and I think the Twitter Spaces is going to be neat too. And the thing that they've got that they're working on with the newsletters, I think will be cool too. But I don't think, like, if it would be nice if you automatically got to email all of your followers and then let them opt out rather than making them opt in, unless there's a way to get, like, that they send that tweet down and make sure that all of your followers see it so that they can opt in. Because, it's like YouTube. On YouTube, I was verified and had 100,000 subs before the bell came into play. So before the bell, like, that means nobody, like a huge number of my community never clicked the bell. So that's why our view ratio to people who are subscribed is very low. Like, it's like, less than 2% of actual subscribers watch my videos. It's all new traffic because they don't have the bell, and YouTube is horrible at sending out notifications. So Twitter is at least pretty good with notifications if you actually subscribe. So there's a few news channels that I subscribe to, and I click the thing to get notified of every post because it's news that I really want to get. So, there are some features about Twitter that I like that, but you're muted. Or at least I don't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, it happens. Shit happens.
It does.
Yeah, so I'm the same way. I use it as a news aggregator as well, but I get in the mud as well sometimes, and I know I shouldn't, and it's part of the reason why I do
Nail
the show.
does too.
Yeah,
Nail got banned over there a couple times, I think.
Yeah, Nail Bender. Yeah, it's kind of his badge of honor that he gets banned all the time. So, yeah. So let's move on and talk a little bit about how would you define art? Being a creator,
Yeah, I think art is anything that you create. Like as a person who even if you I think anything that you actually create, anything that comes from you out in any way, anything that you put out of you, whether it's through visualized drawing, code, singing, content, videos, a book, like anything. I don't see it. I mean, you can even pee in the snow and create art. So I think anything that can come out of you can be art.
Yeah. So do you think what we do in the guild, or what I'm doing right now, you consider this art? I'm creating something.
Definitely. Yeah. I just think anything that where you use your creative juices, like even people that you wouldn't consider, like, that they just do it. They're like robotic and stuff. So where I think you lose the art is, like, if I was a newscaster and I go and I'm reading a teleprompter, that's not coming from me.
Yeah.
I have talent to read. I'm reading, but am I really creating? No, I didn't create that art. I didn't create that story. I didn't create the studio. I did none of that. No part of that whatsoever did I create, other than I'm sitting in a chair and I'm reading. Yeah. So that I don't consider art. But where we sit here and we come up with the shows, we build our backgrounds, and make them look the way we want them. We add our personality to things. I do feel like that's art. And maybe a better word to define it is expression. Expressing ourselves through something that we create, whether that's art, painting, or whatever. Because I was thinking when I said coding, if you're writing code to do certain things and it's from scratch, I consider that could be art, because the end result could be a website that just looks absolutely amazing. But if you look at it from their angle, it's just numbers and letters and code. But what comes out on the other side is art.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Anything to do with your imagination or creation, because most things that come out of us is because of our imagination. So, and that's creative and that's art. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, except for, urine and bowel movements. That's
Some people consider that art.
Yeah. Well, if they make art out of it. But the fact of it coming out of us is not art itself. It has to then go into a process of art.
Okay, potty humor it is. All right, let's go on and get a little bit serious. So has another person's pain ever given you joy?
Another's pain ever given me joy? Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
So do you sound nefarious when you say
I'm
that.
optimistic.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
I am optimistic.
Okay, so I'm going to get into your brain here, and we're going to find out if you think you look like a movie star. What actor do you want portraying you in your biopic?
I would say that would probably have to be Russell Crowe.
Why Russell Crowe?
Well, because I've been told that I look like him. And if you look at recent pictures of him, it's not too far off if you threw white glasses on him. And when we were younger, we actually kind of look alike too. So, although, as far as an actor, like after Gladiator, I don't know that he still impresses me much. Like, okay, there's a movie called Boy Erased. He was pretty good in, but like, I don't know. He just kind of went downhill. I think we're going to start seeing him in, B movies and stuff now.
Right. Did you see Virtuosity with him and Denzel Washington?
No. Was that good?
That was good. That was like one of his first roles, and he was a skinny little thing. And he's gone completely off the rails with all that now. So
yeah. Beautiful Mind was another really good one that I remember him in.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But The Gladiator, I mean, that movie's that's a classic.
It's absolutely a
One of
classic
the best.
and very manly.
Yeah.
Very, very manly. So, with the pandemic, with everything that's been going on, times have been tough for everybody, economically and with, work and with, and I know that we all have stuff going on. So if things got really, really desperate, would you ever try your hand at truly, and this isn't a joke, it is sort of, but it's not, would you ever try your hand at being an OnlyFans creator to actually put yourself out there to make some moolah?
I would indeed. I actually have an OnlyFans account, but I don't post on it, but I have one.
Right.
It's there, for that day. Now, the better question is, would people pay for that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there would be. I think there's a fetish for everything.
There probably is. Like I if I were gonna do that though, I legit would start walking. I would change. I would go to the gym. I mean, I would really buff myself out, because if I had to rely on my body to make money, well, this body wouldn't make me jack shit. So I would have to go.
You're right. So there's gonna be there's women out there that like the whole bear thing, and you've got the beard going on. Yeah, and dad bod stuff, but the hair, like a lot of women like that. A lot of dudes like that as well. So you could,
I guess it's just for me. If I were to have to see myself unclothed, I would not want to look at what you know what I mean?
You got to market to your audience. Got to market to your audience.
I would want to have at least some semblance of an ab there somewhere.
I think they make prosthetics for that now. So.
Do they?
So going back to Twitter, and I've asked this question to all of my guests, because I think it's relevant. I think we're seeing a lot of what's going on in our society today. But what's the one thing that really worries you most about Twitter and other social media platforms in general?
Just the way that they're trying to control the conversation by taking down people's speech. I mean, it's to the point where we need to be looking at them as a public utility more than what they are, because they they literally now like or dislike Trump all you want, but the fact that they took the United States president off of the platform and didn't and would actually allow people to be blocked from that. So in my opinion, what Twitter should have done is they should have left his account on, and you should not, like, you could have been deleted from Twitter from other parts, but you should have been allowed to at least comment on the president's posts, so that, you know, that, because if that's where they're posting information, that's one of the only ways you can have discourse. That's the only way you can join a conversation. And so pulling that conversation away is a scary thing. And so I am a free speech purist. I think that free speech in all forms, even the most egregious, offensive to some people, free speech should be allowed, because when you start trying to police it, then you have people that keep policing and policing and policing, and before you know it, everything's getting policed. And that's kind of where we're heading right now, because, you know, it's like this term, it was not okay anymore, and then it expands to this term that also explains it, but then that also affects another term, and it's like they say, you know, you if you fight for against speech of other people, eventually it will come around to you, and it's already coming back to the people who were fighting against it before. So it's a very dangerous thing, and giving these tech giants the ability to take control of that, they're just so virtuous. I mean, they're for-profit corporations that don't really care about people. So I just feel like that's the most dangerous thing right now. They're setting a very dangerous precedent, and, you know, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you on there. I'm fairly much a free speech purist as well. Do you think there's a light at the end of the tunnel with all of this, or do you think there's going to be a point where the people will get fed up and they'll change their tune?
I mean, it already was happening. The people got fed up, and that's what launched Parler. But then they took Parler down based on like 50 posts, which was ridiculous. You know, a lot of, and so then the mainstream media went after Parler, and now Parler seems like it was this like right wing, like basically terrorist organization, and it wasn't. I was on there. There was perfectly fine stuff. Yeah, there was some extreme right stuff, but that's allowed. We're allowed to have our feelings or our opinion of things, but there was more planning and everything on Facebook and Twitter than there was on Parler.
That's right.
So, and they didn't get taken down. So I feel like right now there's not a light at the end of the tunnel, because they have so much control. Amazon can control the server. Obviously, they took them down, and then the Apple Store could take. Because my argument for that whole insurrection thing, or whatever they want to call it, was that you had Parler take the fall for that, but nobody went after the fact that that was happening on an iPhone. Why weren't iPhones pulled from the shelves? Why wasn't Twitter taken? I mean, you had the AT&T was providing the live streams that were happening from in there, that service. So why didn't they go down? Like, if you want to really go after what happened, then you need to go after every single piece of that puzzle. The phone manufacturer, the provider, up to the person who let them download the app, and the app itself, if that's what you're going to do. So, you know, I just felt like that whole thing was messy, and the fact that now that precedent has been set, what is the light at the end of the tunnel? I think the light at the end of the tunnel is definitely a third party app, but it's going to have to be something that is totally, completely separate of that ecosystem, and that's virtually impossible. I don't know how you would build a website right now without Google, without a server company. You can't do it. You can't. I'm not going to host a website in my room here. I can't. Yeah. So, you know, we're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, I do think there's a light at the end of the tunnel for that, because the lawsuit that Parler has against Amazon is still there, and they have an amazing case against Amazon on this. So if that goes through, that could set some precedents.
Yeah, if there's a precedent set like that, then that would be fine. But you know, at the end of the day, they're it's like they're too big to fail. You know, these companies are way too big to fail. They've got their hands in the pockets of legislators, and so these people will fall on a sword for these people to make sure that this stuff doesn't get passed.
Yeah, I hate that phrase, too big to fail. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So I only know about one of your family members. That would be Philip. Awesome dude. But let's learn a little bit more about your family. So do you have a favorite family tradition? Is there something that your family does that is like one of your favorite things that you do on a regular basis?
Not anymore. What we used to do is because so it's kind of funny. My mom is a huge Christian, but all our sons are atheists. So like when we would go home for Christmas, we would go hang out with her Christmas Eve, and then we would all go like get Chinese food and go to the movies and stuff like that. And so it was kind of a tradition just to get the hell out of there as soon as we could and go do that stuff. But like we don't really have any traditions anymore because we're scattered all over. One of my brothers is in Michigan. I got two out here, but one works on the other side of Portland, and he's always busy and doing other things. So Philip and I are really the only ones that hang out. Now Philip and my youngest brother James, they have a Twitch channel now, and they're playing games together and stuff. So, but yeah, no traditions. But that I have to say that was the one tradition we always look forward to because we always knew that Chinese restaurants were open on Christmas Day, and you know, it was a way for us to go hang out and get away from all the Christmas cheer, if you will.
So did you get the wait staff at the Chinese restaurant to do the fa ra 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 thing or? No, you should do that one time. You got to do it one time. Come on, you're at a Chinese restaurant on Christmas. You gotta.
No, we just did the sweet and sour chicken, which is what I got downstairs. I ordered sweet and sour chicken tonight for dinner.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big sweet and sour chicken guy myself. So we're gonna get a little emotional now. So
okay,
don't put your whiny voice on. When was the last time you cried, and why?
The day that I got back from court and realized that I wasn't getting to see Abby for a while. That was my Chihuahua. That was hard. Like I hadn't seen her already for like 3 months, and so I was thinking, well, I'll get to see her, you know. And then when that happened and I didn't get to, that was tough.
Yeah, that's like a child.
I've had that dog since she was 10 weeks old. She's 12 now. It's like she's at the later years of her life, and so that's like, you know, to lose something that you consider basically your child. You know, like yeah, there was stints of time when I didn't see her, but I always knew that I could. And then not to have that was tough.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I
like dogs more than I like people in many cases. Like
that's understandable because dogs are so incredibly loyal. You know, unlike people, right?
Right.
So, okay. So yeah, got us in the fields there. Hey, by the way, folks, just a little house cleaning thing here. My chat is not working in my software right now, so I'm looking at the chat.
Not working.
It's working on YouTube just fine. But I'm not seeing it being pulled in. So I guess Restream is broken for some reason or other. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on. So what originally got you into content creation? What was the spark?
So when I was the CEO of a tech company, founder, I created it. So I was the owner. I had a product that was basically we created custom Facebook pages on Facebook. Custom like websites on Facebook. So you could take our code, you'd build something out in our little builder, then you'd take the code, you'd paste it in your Facebook tab, and you had like a full-on website with like lead capture forms or YouTube videos or whatever. And I started using live video to train my customers. And I had already been I had been blogging and stuff up to that point. Like I blogged back in like 2005 or something. I can't even remember when I started my very first like blog that took off. So I did that, but I'm talking like video content to where it was like I really got into it. And that was with my customers because I was making customer training videos and stuff. And then I started live streaming that stuff, and it was just the connection and seeing people get results. And then when I went out and helped GeekBeat get their building and everything situated, you know, I had been watching them for a while and was getting into that kind of content, like tech reviews and stuff like that. And then when we first made the transition into Geeks University and then into Live Streaming Pros, it was just really cool to see people like follow your direction and then see success from it. Like I remember when I first started touting these brick backgrounds, and I'd go through the Facebook newsfeed and I'd see brick, and all of those are my students, and they were doing it. They were out there doing it, and there's just a really good feeling for that. And so just seeing that, through all these years has just made me realize that I love creating content. I love helping people to also create content, because I just think it's like, I still think it's kind of like the wild, wild west. I mean, if you are somebody who really wants to do it, if you buckle down and you're just consistent and you put your head down and just start creating, anybody can be successful at this. Anybody. You don't like, one thing that I never thought about when I did it is I never thought about numbers. I never cared about how many people were going to follow me, because I was just training my customers and stuff. I never cared about that. I still, to this day, with every blog that I've ever had or every website I've ever had, I've never once focused on search engine optimization. I've never once done anything to optimize my sites, optimize anything. Now with YouTube, I do think about what people would search for as a strategy, but I don't really like go into analytics and look at all this stuff. I look at, okay, is there a search? People search? Yes. Okay, then I'll use that title. Like, I'll do that kind of stuff. But it's just, yeah, I feel like it was what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, I like what you said in the beginning there, and it kind of goes. It's obvious that you're using your past experience, to teach people today. And you made the comment about connection, having that connection with your customers, and so you talk, all the time. What are the 3 C's? Commit, create, connect, or is it the other way around?
No, that's right. Commit, create, connect.
Right. And so the connect part, to me, I think that's the most important part.
Yeah. Well, and the connection part is what will keep you going. Yeah. Because like once you commit and once you start creating, when you start to get, even if you get 3-5 people and you connect with those people, you're going live for them and you're doing content for them. And then that just slowly starts to grow. And it's like, I've had it happen, where you have a decent sized audience and then one day you don't say anything and you don't go live or you don't put out content the day. I remember getting so many messages, and that's when it hit me. I was like, holy cow, these people are so into my content and what I'm doing that they were legit worried about me. They thought something happened to me. And that was when I changed the way that I thought about that. And if I ever had any reason that I couldn't go live, I let people know.
Yeah.
And so you just get this connection, and that connection drives you, because it's like those become like your family. I mean, the guild is like family to me.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, absolutely, same here. And that's why I keep pushing it. That's why I have all the little graphics and thing on my live streams, because I want other people to experience what we get to experience, in the guild. So
well, and that's and for just I mean, it's not that old. We just started it a few months ago, right? And just to see how many people are embracing that and putting that the graphics up and stuff, I mean, that makes me happy, because I know that we're at the beginning of something that's going to be, just the right size.
Man, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. So one other thing. So we're about roughly the halfway point. I want people to, in the chat, Kevin has been so gracious, because my chat's not working, to be able to grab questions. So if you've got some questions that you've got for Mr. David Foster here, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll get to them at the end. I'm going to save some time specifically for questions that you've got, and let's keep it. Well, okay, I was going to say let's keep it clean, but let's not. Let's ask whatever you want. All right, so let's move on then. So I'm going to put you on the spot, David.
Okay.
Tell me a really, really stupid joke that has made you laugh.
Okay. I mean, this is a really cheesy joke.
Perfect.
But this joke, when I heard it the first time, just made me laugh so hard. So let me see if I can remember how it went. Oh, I got it. Okay. So this little kid is sharing his story of what happened over summer vacation. He asked the teacher asked him to tell his story. Everybody's saying what they did over the break, and he was didn't want to tell his story because it was sad. Or something like that. And anyway, she's like, tell the story. So he went up and he said, I got a new puppy. And she's like, well, that's great, right? And he's like, yeah, but we were, walking down this hill, and the wagon, that I had got away from me, and the wagon went down the hill, and the handle of the wagon went right inside the puppy's ass. And the teacher's like, whoa. You can't say that. Don't say ass, say rectum. And the kid said, wrecked him. Hell, it damn near killed him.
That's actually a pretty good. I think that may have originated in Texas, to be quite honest. Cause I think I've heard that one, but they go, wrecked him, damn near killed him. You got to say with that East Texas accent.
Yeah. I just remember that as a kid. Like, that joke just made me laugh so hard.
Oh, those. Hey, sometimes the dumbest ones are the best ones, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, back to social media. So you've got I think it's like 17,700 something followers. If you could essentially just like talk to them right this second, because we don't have 17,000 people watching right now, but if you could talk to them right this second, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
Unfollow me.
Don't.
Stop following me. Leave me alone.
That's not advice. That's an ultimatum.
What's the ultimatum?
Stop following me.
No, I don't know, because I don't tend to give. I do give advice that is somewhat broad, but that's what I love about having the open Q&A streams, is because then I can really dig down into custom advice for certain people. Like, my advice to Santhy has been different than my advice would be to like Grim, just because I see the content, I see the things they're doing. So it's like, as I get to know people in the community, I can start to narrow down my advice. So I never like to just give blanket advice. So the blanket advice is commit, create, connect. That can work. But like, then once you're into that process, then you start drilling down, and then it's like the advice has to get a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper as you go. And so that's why, having the ability for people to ask questions can help the community learn where they're at, what's wrong, so that advice can continue to go a little bit deeper until they get the advice that actually hits them where it needs to hit them, where they're like, oh, that's okay, now I get it. And then they can go out and do that. So I guess my advice to them would just be, tell me what do you want from me?
Yeah. No, and that's good, because it's hard to fit a piece of advice for an entire group of people, right? It's got to be tailor made. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so diverse. Like it just like I said, the concepts work, but then there's so much more once you understand the concepts to go in. It's different for everybody.
Yeah. And that's, again, one of the reasons why I like the guild. So we're going to get emotional again, because this one gets me, because I have a very specific one for this one. What part of a kid's movie has completely scarred you for life? There's got to be one. Everybody has this.
A kid's movie has scarred me for life.
Maybe not even for life, but just scarred you in some way.
It wasn't a kid's movie, but it was a marionette. Have you ever seen, or a puppet? You ever see the movie Magic?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay. There was a puppet in this movie. Oh, actually, no. I know one that did much worse. Poltergeist. The clown in Poltergeist made it for years, literally years. I had to stand at my bedroom door, and I would run and jump into my bed because I was so scared there was a clown under there. And whenever it would storm, I would get under my bed, in these drawers of my bed, which is where the clown could have been. But at that point, it was the tree that was freaking me out. So I was like fighting this, and my parents, nobody else had any idea that I'm down there living this nightmare night after night because of that damn movie.
That is awesome. That one scared me too. But the one that scarred me that one scarred me too. But the one that really scarred me, just so everybody is aware, the Never-Ending Story in the Swamp of Sadness. Artax dying in the Swamp of Sadness. That was awful for a kids movie. That was terrible.
You consider that a kid's movie? Like, do you consider Poltergeist a kid's movie because kids were in it?
I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, but I considered Gremlins a kid's, like, you know what I mean? Like, I saw those movies.
Yeah.
And
Poltergeist was like a PG-13 movie anyways when it came out.
I don't even think it was 13. I think maybe it was. Maybe it was.
PG,
but like, we had Gremlins. We had the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Oh my God, that one freaked me out with the no mouth and the creature on the wing and all that.
You want to see something really scary?
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, like I consider those were my childhood movies. So I mean, like, childhood movies have just gotten weaker because you can't scare kids these days.
Yeah, and you can't do certain things either. So I got to share this because this is too funny. You'll get a kick out of it. So I shared Blazing Saddles with my kids the other day.
The fire. Did they love the fire scene, the bean scene?
Yeah, of course they love that one. But my kids are 13 and 17, so I felt like it was appropriate, and I gave them the mom speech. I said, "Don't repeat anything you hear in this movie."
Yeah, that's a pretty good thing to say about any Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
Really.
All right. So, who in the world do you most admire, and why?
Well, as of a couple days ago, Facebook has just been hounding me to follow Kate Beckinsale, and now after I have, I'm just like, wow, I really admire her. No, I'm just kidding. Who do I admire? Wow.
Yeah. We can make it easy for you, right? We could say alive or dead.
Well, I really, so somebody that I admire right now is Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk. Now I know that he's going to be not somebody you would agree with, but it's like I see this guy delivering the news day after day after day, and he just does it and does it and does it, and he's just like, I don't know, he's just like a genuine person and stuff, and I just kind of like his approach to things. Like, he's very diplomatic. He's willing to have a conversation with any side of the aisle and stuff. So I don't know, but I mean, if we're talking, does it have to be somebody as a certain stature, or does it matter?
No, it's who you admire in the entire world.
Yeah, and that's not like what I just said is just like if I had to choose right now, that would be. I'm just trying to think who I admire. Like that's kind of weird that I really don't. Like, I listen to a lot of people. I like a lot of people, but admiration. What is the actual definition of admiration? Read me that. What is the actual definition?
Holy,
yeah, come on.
You're giving me homework?
Yes, let's hear it. What is admiration?
Define admiration. We are talking about respect and warm approval.
Respect and warm approval. Then yeah, my Kate Beckinsale statement at the beginning.
Yeah, I get warm when I think about Kate Beckinsale as well. Yes, no doubt. Okay.
I just tend to admire people that treat people like people. Like anybody who it does not like. I always start here with people, like eye to eye. Like when I was a CEO of a startup, I paid all my guys the same as me. Like I made sure they knew that, because because I was the CEO, I didn't want them to think that I had to make this bloated salary and that they were less valuable than I was, because we were building that company together. These guys would come in on the weekends and all that stuff just because of the way that I treated them. So I always admire people who always are on the same level as people, and they, even if they're mega wealthy. Like I met this guy who was a billionaire in Austin, Texas. He lives above the Hilton in Austin in this huge penthouse, and he was just this really laid back. Like if you would have met him, he just seemed like a stoner kid that, was like, just probably like had spoiled parents or was spoiled by his parents or whatever. But the guy's a billionaire. And so I just admire people like that they don't ever place themselves. They don't place value on wealth. They don't place value on the things that they have. They place value in approaching people at the same level and starting there. And then yeah, some people drop down because they're assholes, or you just don't gel with them or whatever. They drop down to where it's like, those aren't people I connect with. But at least meeting at the very beginning of a confrontation or a meeting or whatever, face to face, you start there, and then it's like, then you decide, is this somebody that I can have in my circle, or do I gel with them? Do I gel enough to tolerate them? And then, kind of make it the decision from there.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you on that too. That my thing is people that are genuine. I don't care where you are politically or what your spiritual beliefs are. If you're genuine with me and you treat me with respect, it's going to be returned.
Yep, and at least willing to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's important too.
Yeah, there are some people that they're so unwilling. Like I get so pissed off with friends of mine and stuff, or people that I see that they plant their flag in either left or right with politics, and it's like, it doesn't matter if you give them a fact. It doesn't matter if you give them anything. They're not moving that flag because they've planted it, and their pride is so strong that they cannot remove that flag or even slightly move it, because politically, I feel like this country if we don't eventually come to the middle, we're never going to fix anything. We have to all move to the middle or nothing's going to happen, because we're so far divided right now. Our flags are so far apart, and people that aren't willing to move their flag in anything, not just politics. You plant a flag in religion. You plant a flag in a football team, for instance. I mean, I've seen people fight over football teams.
Yep.
It's like big deal. Like, just be willing to have a conversation, be open, be genuine, and don't think you're better than anyone.
Yeah, no, that's actually, there's your piece of advice for everybody. There's
Yeah,
your
there you
piece.
go.
There it is.
You hear that,
awesome.
Twitter?
Damn it!
Now unfollow me.
So what? So this is actually a good segue. I didn't intend it to be, but what line should someone never cross with you? Yeah, I mean, you seem like a pretty laid back, easygoing guy, but everybody's got a line. What's that line for you?
I really don't like being lied to, and I really don't like people being fake. Like I try to put out there that you don't have to lie to me, you don't have to be fake, you don't have to like be somebody that you're not to impress me, or whatever the reason would be. I like people to be genuinely who they are. And so, people that would like blatantly lie or things like that, like I just can't gel with those kind of people. So yeah, if I catch people lying, like I give so much trust and so much like tolerance to people from the beginning. And I really have a lot of faith in humanity and stuff. But the minute that goes side, I mean, I give people a couple chances, but then once that's gone, it's near impossible to get it back with me.
Yeah, I'm mine's very similar. I'm a trust guy. You break my trust, and it's almost all over.
Yeah, I mean, I will give people like a chance, if they come to me, and like it's like I don't like when somebody doesn't have a good reason for what they're saying or what they're doing. Like if you're like, okay, I want you to do this. Okay, well, why? Well, just because. Okay, that's not an answer. So it's
Right.
like if they come to me and they're like, hey, I know I did this. I'm sorry. Well, what do you feel like you did? Well, I did this. Well, why did you do that? Let's have a conversation. And it's like somebody accused me of lying all the time, not too in the distant past. And I was like, okay, well, what did I lie about? Well, I don't remember, but you lied. Like, no, specifically tell me what I lied about. Let's fix this. I don't remember, but you lied. And then this relationship is completely broken, and because somebody couldn't tell me what I lied about. So, I just feel like that is unsalvageable to me, from that point. But I'm always willing to, anybody that I've gotten into that position with, I'm willing to listen and have a conversation, but it better be a good one.
Yeah. You're gonna have to prove it now.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on about 8 minutes to the hour. How much longer can you go?
I'm fine.
You're fine? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
My
going to finish.
chicken's just going to be cold, but that's okay.
You got a
warm it
microwave.
up.
Come on.
Yep.
So I've got a few more questions to ask, and then we'll go, and we've got some questions that Kevin was nice enough to capture for me in the guild, so we can.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, we
in
can
the guild.
definitely. Yeah, and we can definitely ask those. So I definitely am curious about this one, especially because you don't have Jennifer there right now. So I'm just going to leave that one up on the screen for you.
I have not slept in clothing for probably 20 years. Buff. And I don't care who's around.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I won't walk around naked if other people are here. Just Jennifer, but like if anybody else is here, I won't do that. I'm not that bold. But, I just cannot. I feel so claustrophobic if I have anything on my body in bed.
Even the covers?
No, covers are fine.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's hot, then I'm like, but there are times when it is so cold. Like I've been in situations where I've been like at like a camping or something in a cabin, and it's so cold that I will wear socks, but that's all. I mean, get this.
Strange.
I was in a sleeping bag up a mountain road in Oregon, and it was snowing, and I woke up in the morning with about probably 15 inches of snow on top of my sleeping bag, had to burrow my hands out or whatever and put my face out, and I was still buck-ass naked in that tent, in that sleeping bag. And I had to get out naked in that snow and walk in and get my clothes. So I'm going up to about my knees in snow, buck-ass naked.
You're living on the edge, man. Living on the edge.
That
So
was
I
ba-
ju-
but that was when I was in my early 20s. I mean, I was like, I was bulletproof when I was in my early 20s.
So Andy actually I caught this in the chat. Andy said no sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Oh man, good times. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about social media again. You only get to pick one platform, and
TikTok.
you would delete TikTok. Why?
Yes, bye. Why? Because I feel like this 15-second video craze is just like a brutal attack on our attention span. Kids already don't have a good enough attention span. It's like, let's give them the shortest form content we can. Now, I will say there are some people that create some brilliant stuff on TikTok, but I feel like this short attention span theater society that we're building is dangerous because if your conversation is longer than 15 seconds, they're already done. Like, hey, let's have a conversation really quick. Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
not what I want. And that's why people are like, why aren't you...
So, and for anyone who has a party hat,
Wow, what happened there?
Is that me?
Every time you're on stage,
Yeah.
you just have to say apology for going on stage and asking questions. And
What the heck was that? Was that Psy?
That sounded like Psy.
How is Psy talking somewhere? That was weird.
That was weird. Was that in the guild? Maybe.
I don't know. Are they on voice chat somewhere?
I don't know. That's very
That was
strange.
really weird. But yeah, so I just feel like, you know, people are like, why don't you make YouTube shorts? Because I don't want that audience. I don't want that short attention span audience on my videos, because then when you put out a long form video, that hurts your video. If you got, you know, like it hurts my videos that I got 100,000 subs and only, you know, 192 views right now, you know, on a video,
Right.
Because I'm rebuilding it. So I don't want that to take it down even more.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on the short attention span. It drives me crazy. So, oh boy, kids these days, right?
Yep.
So if you could time travel, like right this second, when and where would you end up?
I have always wanted to live in the Wild West, like straight up cowboy spurs, you know, just like Clint Eastwood time, like back in the, you know, Hang 'em High, Two Mules for Sister Sarah, like that kind of thing. Like just back in those days where it was just like rough and, you know, you had to actually work to survive. And you never knew what was around the corner. Like it just, I don't know, and you know, like I would have probably been somebody who was, would have worked with and tried to work with the Indians, and instead of like wanting to kill them and everything. And like, I could just see if I had my personality now that I would have been a huge proponent for the Indians, like fighting for them and with them. And kind of like, you ever see Geronimo, the movie with, Wes Studi and Gene Hackman?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how the relationship he had with Geronimo was just like, you know. So that's always been kind of a dream of mine.
That's actually an interesting time frame. I would not have expected that from you, to be quite honest.
What
Where's
did
the
you expect?
technology? I was expecting some place, you know, where there was, you know, technology, or maybe the burgeoning of the modern era or something like that. But
Yeah, no, I actually really hate technology, honestly. Like, I mean, I understand it, I use it every day and everything, but if I literally could make enough money that I could walk away and go live out in the woods somewhere, that'd be me. Like, no internet, no nothing. I would be tiny homing it, buck ass naked out in the woods.
sleepwalking with the bears,
Yep. Sliding down a rope to get out of my house.
not naked. Ow!
Just extend your arms. You're fine.
Oh my God, we went there. That's cool. No, I'm totally cool with that. No, it's fine. So what's one thing, if you could, one thing that you want right now, name it. What is it that you want right this second?
That I could will into existence right now.
Sure, whatever. Just the one. It's something that you really want right now.
Something that I really want. I don't really. Let me think. Like
Anything. It doesn't have to be It doesn't even have to be an object. It could be a situation. It could be a person. It could be.
okay, right at this very minute, I wish that Bitcoin would like triple in value because I've invested in it, and I would be, you know, able to cash out and shut this shit down and leave.
Nice. All right. See you later.
Yeah, ambassadors, you're in charge. Ambassadors, assemble.
Well, no, you got to at least set us up. Come on.
Yeah, I'd be like the Nick Fury. I'd come in every once in a while, give you your missions, and then out I'd go. And be like, where the hell did he go?
Nobody knows. He's up on a space station right now. So that's awesome. So we got one more question that we're going to get into. The questions that Kevin was so nice to grab for us in the guild.
Thanks, Kevin in the guild.
Thanks, Kevin in the guild. If you were arrested without explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done?
Probably got caught naked outside.
Is it really that much of a thing? All your friends and family know that you're a naturist.
Okay, so I was at a party one time, and I just thought it would be the funniest thing. So I went in the bathroom, and I took all my clothes out, and I walked out doing that. The lamb puts the lotion in the basket. A room full of people. And they just all like spit out their drinks, laughing and everything. I was like the guy that would do anything for a laugh. So I tucked my pee-pee between my legs and walked out there. So yeah, I mean, I've been getting naked for fun, you know, I was the kid that would moon you sometimes. But no, if I got arrested and what would they think? I mean, right now at this time of my life, I think I know what they would think, but they'd, I can't really say it publicly.
Oh, I hear you. No, I get you. Because that might actually put you in jail. Oh man, that was good. Now that was probably the best answer of the day. The tucking the pee. Yeah.
I just thought that would be, and it worked. It was a crowd pleaser.
Oh my God, it would not have pleased me. So let's move into what the community's asking. We got some interesting questions here. So Human City, our good buddy Human City, says, why white? White glasses, white headphones, etc.
I mean, when I don't know, because every other electronic is black, and it's like it doesn't stand out. It's like it's just this black electronic, and it's like when they started, like when a Canon M50 came out with a white camera, and I had these black horn rimmed glass. Was it rimmed horn or horn rimmed glasses? Yeah, like those. I was just like, there was nothing, like they just were the same as everybody else, and I was like, I want a color that I like, and so I just went with white. For whatever reason, I did a lot of searching for white, and then I just liked it, and then I got a white Canon M50, and then I noticed they had a white this camera, and so I don't know, it's just because it's different, I guess. I like things that are not like everybody else's. I like customization. I like things that like if I pull out my phone, it's not the same phone everybody else has, and it's not for stature or anything. It's just because I don't want to be the person that is just exactly like everybody else. I like to have my little things that make me unique.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I used to be that way when I was a teenager. I quit. I guess I started conforming. I don't know, but I was the same way.
Well, it's not because it's not for anybody else but myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I just want to feel like I don't know.
So I got to say, I almost fell out of my chair when you first learned that there was a white Sony A5100. I was like, you didn't know that? If you go to eBay, like half of them are white. So
yeah, no, I had no idea. And the funny thing is, like, it's always international stuff. The international stuff is white. It's the U.S. stuff that's always black. I'm like, why in the hell is that?
Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows? That's interesting. So M Dog, of course, has a question. I'm not sure this is a serious question.
3K.
I was thinking of buying a 12K camera. Would you suggest I should?
No, I would suggest you sell it. I suggest you buy a 720p camera. A Logitech C920, to be exact.
There you go. Greatest webcam ever.
Ever.
So Chris Guerra, I can't roll my R's. So I'm married to a Latina, and and I can't roll my R, so there it is. He's asking, what's your favorite stream setting, and why is it 360p 24 frames per second?
No, it's 1080 60.
1080
That's,
60 all
that's
the way.
I live by 1080 60. If I can't do it at 1080 60, I don't want to do it.
You're a snob.
Yep.
Yeah,
I almost didn't come in here once I found out you only support 30 frames per second on here.
Oh man, wait. Am I at 30 frames? No, I'm not.
No, you're at 60, but the interview system only supports 30.
Oh, gotcha. No, I hear what you're saying. Okay. So, and Dr. Elo wanted to chime in about your, most admired question. He basically said that he admires me. So, so you apparently admire Dr. Elo?
I do, but I admire him in Spanish, and I don't know how to say it.
Oh, come on, Elo. How do you say that in Spanish? If you're still with us,
Admiro.
Kevin, this is actually a serious question from Kevin.
Wow.
I'm really, really surprised. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, let's get serious.
Yeah, what is the most valuable life advice you can give to content creators or any artists of any form that someone else has given to you?
My violin teacher, when there was a time that I wanted to quit playing violin because I thought that's not cool and all this other stuff, and he just told me, he's like, you're really, really good. He's like, and the thing is, like, don't just look at it as you're playing the violin. You're learning a very valuable thing with the pitch that you're learning and stuff that can lead you to other instruments down the line if you want to play something different. Your parents are making you do it now, but down the line you'll be able to take that and turn it into something else. And so I stuck it out. I played violin for like 11 years. And what I realized was, the violin is a fretless instrument, meaning it has no frets. So the only way you know when to stop your fingers is from muscle memory and sound, like hearing the pitch of where you are. So that's made it so that I can pick up any stringed instrument, a piano, mandolin, whatever, and I can hear pitch and figure out songs on it just from that knowledge.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool that I did that and stuck with that. So I guess my thing is, like, if just because you're doing something you're not happy with, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn from it to take to the next thing that you do. So still make the best of where you're at, because it can give you a lot of things to take you to the next place.
No, that's great advice. You need to come talk to my kids about that. They don't listen to me when I say shit like that. So. And so we got one final question, and okay. Is there glass in those lenses?
Yes.
Yes, there is. I've seen you. Oh, and they're kind of thick. Wow, look at you. So there is glass, and it is warped. So yes, they are.
I always thought it was the strangest question when I go to a supermarket and the lady would be like, "Are there lenses in there?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Yes, there's lenses in here. There are people that do that. People wear glasses without lenses.
True story. I was a bit of a new waver skater or whatever in my teenage days, and I thought it would be cool to buy some glasses that were round, and I wore them all the time. They had glass in them, but they weren't prescription. So it was just to look cool, man. Just to look cool.
Yep. No, I've since seen people, and I was just like, that person's red glasses have no lenses.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's strange. That's a little strange.
But I get it. We were young once. I mean, I remember wearing like the rolled up peg pants, rolled up sleeves, just the things you did when, like the styles that we had when we were kids. I was the whole Rat Pack. Was it the Rat Pack?
No, the
Brat Pack.
Brat Pack. Yeah. Yeah, no,
Rat Pack was Sinatra. And
yeah,
those guys.
Yeah, you're not that old. Jeez.
No, I'm 50.
Yeah, and I'm right behind you, buddy. I'm right behind you. Well, this has been a lot of fun. This has been freaking awesome. And I think we soaked up all the questions that were there. Dr. Elo says he's going to jump to his stream right now. All right, peace out, Dr. Elo.
Later, Elo.
And again, come and check out the Creators Guild. I'm going to throw this up on the screen and cover us up a little bit here. Oops, no, I'm not. There I am. Now I am. Come and check it out. Do you have anything that you want to say about the Creators Guild and Creator Toolkit?
just that, like, I'm really happy with the way it's going. I can't wait till I can actually get through all this stuff that I'm going through so that I can get this done, because I think this is going to be like, I'm trying to make it in a way that it's like you can go through it through yourself, but there's all kinds of safety nets through the guild and stuff to catch people, because that's what I've always seen, is people create these workshops and these courses and stuff, and it's like, get in there and take it, but there's nothing to help you past that. And I know that if people can just get their questions answered, they can get those things figured out, then they'll be able to do it. So I'm just really excited to see where it's going. And this is just the beginning. I mean, it literally has only been launched for like a month now, I think, since I actually rolled it out, or maybe 2.
It was February, because I looked in
Yeah.
the Gilded, and I'm a member since February, so I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And
So
almost
it's very
400
short
members
time.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes.
No, I am too, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. No, thanks for being a part of it.
All right. So, guys, thank you all so much. Thank you, David, for coming on. We will see you in the
thanks
guild.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. And everybody, again, thanks for coming and seeing me today. For anybody who is new out there, reach out to me, please. Come and reach out to me. Give me some feedback. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about the show. Any ideas you have, and anything I can improve on that would serve you better or maybe entertain you more. You can reach me at beyond280 at gmail.com. That's all spelled out. I follow everybody on my Twitter account, beyond_280. So throw me a follow there. And I hope you got to know the person behind the Twitter avatar. Even though David's not much of a Twitter person, he is on Twitter, so he qualifies. I know I saw some comments about he doesn't really use social media. Well, he's on Twitter. It counts. So next week I'm trying to get another big name on my list for next Wednesday. Remember, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. Central. My Monday show is a little bit of more of a political commentary, kind of, through my eyes. I go and look at some Twitter topics that are kind of the du jour topics of the day, and kind of give my spin on those. And that one's, I encourage interacting. I encourage trolling, Kevin and Nailbender. I would love for you to come and debate me, because I am that guy. I'm that guy that likes to sit there and just hash it out and talk about it and whatever. Even if we get a little bit, nippy or whatever, that's fine. It's fine as long as we're having that discourse. My Wednesday shows, again, is where I get to interview somebody that is a Twitter user that we all want to kind of get to know a little bit better. And then Friday, it's just shoot the breeze. Let's see what's happening on Twitter and just kind of have fun and hang out. But I really enjoy everybody coming out today. And for all the new people, again, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And go out and check out the guild if you can. If you're a creator or you're interested in becoming a creator, if you're seeing all this stuff that everybody's doing nowadays with the pandemic and the lockdowns and all that, a lot of people going out there and creating, but a lot of people aren't doing it very well. And we would like to help you with that in that community. So come and check us out. And peace out, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you later.